Hello and welcome everyone to my new Bitcoin update. So we finally broke the 93.5k level, which has been acting as a very strong resistance over the last, almost 2 months, since the mid of November now. And do I think that this is a sustainable move? And do I think that we will continue to go higher now or not? This is something I want to talk about in this video. And when I look at these sort of moves, especially when I look at these high time frame breakouts, we're seeing the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin here, I usually concentrate on two things. How do I see whether this is a sustainable move, or how do I believe, or why do I believe this can be a sustainable move? So first of all, volume. When we see that we're breaking a significant level, we want to see some volume coming in. Volume shows us that there's actually something happening at this level, and there's actually buyers and sellers fighting for this level. This is what we want to see. And what we saw here as we moved into these high ranges, we saw how volume increased significantly, price pushing through. Yes, this can, of course, on the other hand, also mean forced buyers. It can also mean that there's a lot of shorts being forced into liquidation or being closed at these levels, which would also, of course, imply a high volume activity. But at the same time, we can see how the open interest is constantly increasing. And this is something I always want to see for Confluence. While the open interest is increasing, we see that new money is entering the market. So it's not just shorts being closed out. This would basically tell us or show us that the open interest is going down, but it's actually new money entering the market. Open interest increases while volume increases, and this is a very good sign. At the same time, we see how the spot CBD has been increasing over the last days. So very nice move, turning towards a positive slope here. Yes, perp volume is also increasing, but this is natural. This is sort of a given when we move into interesting trading zones, and we're not really worried about that as long as the funding rate stays moderate, and this is what we see here. As long as the open interest in general, yes, it keeps increasing, but it's still at moderate levels around 250, between 250 260k Bitcoin. So this is still something I'm not really worried about. Quite the contrary, that gives me the confidence that this move is actually something sustainable. Now, why am I so skeptical about this? It's not that I don't believe that we broke this. Now this looks really good. And of course, on this side, I'm continuing to look for long positions here. I will give an update in the next video what sort of longs I'm looking for here. But what is a problem right now? If we zoom out a little bit, we have been in a downtrend for a pretty long time. And technically, this is still some sort of an accumulation zone. Yes, we put in higher highs and higher lows on this internal level, but we also, internal structure, but we also want to see the external structure. Here we see that. Lower highs, lower lows. This is the external structure we're seeing here. But we also want to see that this breaks. Yes, on the internal level, higher highs, higher lows. But the external structure needs to be wiped out, and this will be around this level, 106k. 106k is anyway a very important level, because this is where major resistance is located. But it's not only the 106k, it's also the 100k previous to that. So we see that there's a very significant resistance level, and before we can really switch bullish, first of all, of course, we need to break this 100k. Why? On the chart, it's a clean level to break, but on the other hand, it's also this very important psychological level. 100,000 Bitcoin, this is something that wants to be taken first before we can assume further upside continuation. But even then, as I just said, to really break structure, this is my key inflection point here. In order to really break structure to the upside, we still need to break the 106k. So even if everyone turns bullish and we're like, okay, now we broke the 100k, now we're going higher, and now we're moving to all-time highs, maybe. Can we go there directly? Yes, of course we can. But first of all, we need to surpass the 100k level. Then we have the 106K level, which would start marking the real structural break we all have been waiting for. But this needs to happen first. And then, even after that, we move into this big inefficiency around here. It's more or less between the 115K and the 119, 120K. So this is the next resistance level. And this is why I'm urging everyone to be careful out there. I'm not saying that we're being rejected right now. No, not at all. It's absolutely possible that we smash through these levels. But still, just from a technical point of view, we are facing three major resistances right above us. And this is why I'm really careful. And a strong rejection on any of these levels could easily mean that we're going back down here. We still haven't taken out the 86K level. We still haven't taken out the 80K level, and every rejection from these resistance levels can still mean that we're seeing a move lower without losing our upside momentum. This is important. Am I bearish just because we retest the 86K level? No, not at all. This is a very normal move for Bitcoin, that we always go down, grab the liquidity from below before we shoot higher. And this is something we just need to keep in mind. I want to keep this short for now, and I'm not saying that we're breaking down completely, not at all. I think this looks pretty decent. I think we're putting in a very, very nice structure just before everyone is yelling bull case, bull case, bull case again. Let's be careful and see that there's still a lot of resistance above us. And how I'm going to trade this and how I will handle this, I will let you guys know in my next video. First of all, let's see what happens here. It looks sustainable for now. The metrics are giving us exactly what we need, and I will keep you guys updated very shortly.